Hello, everyone. I haven't been live in a while, which every time I come on live, I have to say that because I'm just not really coming consistently. But I'm here today just for a little bit. I don't feel my best today. I have a little bit of a fever vibe going on. So I'm probably not going to be on too long, but I did want to come on here and talk. I'm going to quickly check if my volume is even working because sometimes it's not. And I've done lives before where I started out in the first few minutes, it was
Stuck on a math problem? Brainly's got your back.
there's an ad
Download the
right
Brainly
before
app.
my live.
Start
Nice,
improving
two
your health
ads.
with Whoop. Get real-time insights.
Okay, it's working. I just got this light from Amazon and it is really like a powerful light. You see how strong it is? And I could actually put it right here, but kind of hurts my eyes, so I don't know if I should use it. I'm going to put it here and I'll like see if I decide to change my mind about it, but it does really brighten up my video. So I'm here to talk about always have your own money. There is a trend online about like, oh, thank you. You're so pretty. I'm sorry for the loss of your parents. Thank you. On that topic, I had a really major cry today. I was crying a lot. It was just one of those cries that you've seen on my vlogs where I'm just like breaking down. But I'm feeling better now. I'm back. But thank you for the kind words. Anyway, so what I was saying is there's this trend online now about like traditional wives and trad wives and all of that. And I am obviously one that agrees that women should be taken care of, like financially. If you are with a partner, like a man, then he should be financially taking care of you, providing for the house, the bills, all of that, allowance, whatever. But that gets confused by people, and they get confused with, okay, well, if a man's supposed to be taking care of everything financially, then he's the only one producing money in the relationship. And that's not true. You are supposed to continue to try to make money. The difference is that you keep all your money to yourself. You don't pay bills. You don't contribute financially to the family and relationship. You contribute financially to yourself and to your children, but to your husband or boyfriend or whatever it is, it's his job to contribute. So, for example, if there's house bills, rent, mortgage, food, etc., this should be paid for by the man that you're with. And also your expenses. But you should always have your own money, like your own bank account that's only in your name. And that account is constantly just being stacked with money, whether it's through a business, whether it's through him giving you allowance. There's many marriages where stay-at-home moms get allowances and you just stack that up. Whatever it is, however you're making money, you need to have your own account and your own money. I was watching a video on TikTok where this woman who had been a housewife for her whole life, I think she was like 40, like mid 40s, and she'd been a housewife her whole life, and she was saying that her husband just like woke up suddenly, and it's very recent, and told her that he wants a divorce and he wants her to move out. And obviously he's saying she should move out because she was a stay-at-home mom and she wasn't working. So in his eyes, it's his house. And in his eyes, she's just a financial burden and she needs to be on her own now. And this woman had not ever prepared for this day to potentially come. So she says she has no savings. He cleared out their joint account. The credit cards were his credit cards. He would pay the bills. She would just use it. And so she's literally starting from square one. She has a huge gap in her resume, and he doesn't care. And the reason I say always have your money, and the reason why I say have a bank account that you're stacking, is because men are very self-interested. They're not like women in the sense that we stay in a relationship because we feel bad for the guy that we're with. Women will stay in a relationship just because she doesn't want to hurt or abandon the person that she's with. This is unfortunately the reality. But men don't think like that. The second that they don't want to be in that relationship, or they find something that makes them happier or that they think is better, they will discard the woman that they're with and give her nothing. He'll go from giving you a full lifestyle of providing for you, paying all the bills, giving you a home, a car, to won't even give you $1. That's how the switch up is. That's how quick the switch up is. And if you are not smart, and if you did not plan, and if you were not strategic early on, you are going to get a real, real tough life lesson in mid-age that you don't wanna get. And that's why I'm saying you should always have your own money. And I am speaking from example. When I was married, although I was in a marriage where I had to work, the person that I was with would not have been able to provide on his own, and also kind of required me to work. I never felt like I had the option to ever not work, even after I had kids. And that's part of the reason why I ended up leaving. It's because I realized that I don't have freedom. I don't have the freedom to be a stay-at-home mom if I want to. I don't have the freedom to, quit my job and find something else I love, because I was in bill paying survival mode. But there was another reason why I always worked, and it's because I always felt like I wasn't gonna be there forever. I always held on to that situation as if it could, like, leave any second. I always subconsciously knew that I needed to keep my job. I needed to keep an income, a good income, in order for me to prepare for my future, and that's what I did. I stayed in my job, I grew in my career, I opened businesses, I failed businesses, I opened another business, I shut down another business. I did everything to make sure that I was financially going to be okay in my future, and that I would never be in a situation where I'm there because I have to be, because I didn't have the money to leave. I never wanted to be in that position. And the only way to do that is when you have your own money. That is the easiest way to do that. And some women have their own money, like me, and make the mistake of having a joint bank account where both of your incomes are going into an account. And that's another thing that women shouldn't do. The only time you have a joint bank account is if the man's income is going in that account and you're spending on that account. But your income should never be deposited into a joint bank account with a man. Like, that should never be happening. Your money is always your money as a woman, and his money is always both of your money. That's the way it is in the world I live in. That's the way it is in my mind, and that's the way it is in a lot of women now. And there are still women that don't understand this, and that's why I'm here talking about it, because I learned this lesson from Shira 7, and it changed my life understanding this dynamic. Um, and I won't get into the whole why it should be that way, because that's another video of its own. But, just to like graze over it, it's because at the end of the day, a woman needs to have her own money to protect herself. A man needs to pay his own the bills in order to feel like the man in the relationship, and in order for the woman to respect him, because one day you're gonna have kids, and he's gonna send you to work, and he's gonna have his hand out for you to pay the bills at bill time while you're breastfeeding. Like, it's just to understand how crazy that is. Like, you breastfeeding, and there's a handout asking you to pay a bill. It's ridiculous. So not only is it important that you make money somehow, you have income coming in, but that income coming in is in your own account, in your own name that no one else has access to, especially not the man that you're with. Everyone is safer that way, everyone is happier that way. Some men may say that's not, like, fair, equality, da, da, da. No. That is a way for a woman to protect herself from the potential of being abandoned and discarded the way that men have done historically many times to their wives, and protect themselves. I left my marriage very early on, so I didn't experience the being abandoned and discarded. Maybe I would have if I stayed, but I left early on, but I still needed to have my own bank account, and I needed to have my own income in order to leave. It was still essential to me being able to leave, for me to keep my home so that my kids wouldn't lose the home that they were growing up in, so that my kids wouldn't have their, like, whole life uprooted. I had to have my own income and my own savings account in order to do that, and I'm so grateful to this day for that, because despite the fact that we divorced and that was hard and it was difficult on my kids, obviously in the beginning, it's difficult for any family. We were still in the house that we had. My kids still had the house that they had and our family home, and so that helped make things easier, and that's because I had an income. I had a plan, I had an income, I had a safety net to ensure that if anything goes wrong, I can take care of the situation. And it's very important that every woman does that, because it also gives you a lot of leverage and power in the relationship. And it gives you a lot of safety and confidence for if things don't work out. And you can never bet your life on a person. You can never bet your life that a person will never leave, that a person will never betray you. And so it absolutely is the smartest thing to do, the most survival thing to do, to always have your own money and to always keep it in an account that's only yours and only you have access to. Okay, 12 minutes. That's all. Ooh, that's all for today, because I am feeling like a little bit under the weather and tired. So I'm gonna go. And also, I'm sure you can tell I'm a little congested. I'm gonna go in bed. I have another YouTube video to edit. But thank you everyone for watching. I have a video I recently posted about how I stay happy and positive and energetic while being a very busy working mom. So please go watch that video. It's a very good one. And thanks everyone for watching. Bye.